You know, the funny thing about video games, and I made a joke about Baldur's Gate. Most people who play video games will understand this. There are many games that have karma systems where you can choose to be good or evil. And the meme online is that whenever people try to play the evil character, it hurts and they can't do it. They can't bring themselves to play the evil character. Unfortunately for you, some people have figured out how to do it in real life. The guy who...
Why does it hurt? Like, explain that to me.
It's with it, like, okay. So Baldur's Gate, for instance, or Fallout 3. Fallout 3 has right when you come out of in the beginning, there's a town that's built around a nuclear bomb. Fallout 3 is a game about a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
It's like a bomb that never went off.
Yeah, it's like a megaton bomb, and very easily you can disarm it, or you can trigger it to blow up, killing everybody. And it feels bad. It feels bad to be like, I know none of these people are real, but I can't. So what the joke is, you save, do it, and then load, and having never actually done it just to see what would happen. But there's a bunch of memes where, if you read stories about these video games, people struggle to be the villain in the game. So it's like in Baldur's Gate. I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say, I'll give a really bland hypothetical. The bad guy looks at you and says, slay the innocent person. And you can choose to do it. And most people are like, I can't. I'm trying to play a villain character for the villain storyline, but you can't bring yourself to just watch this scene where it's a representation of you hurting innocent people.
So does it look like you in the video? Do you look like yourself? Okay. And then is the person that you're hurting, do they look like a real person?
Could be a goblin. Could be a unicorn. Who knows? It could be random.
It's still pretty cartoony at this stage.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
But it's not that. It's my point with this is not to get into video games and all this stuff. It's just that
it will start to look very real, though.
The people who understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, just try and imagine the scenario. But for people who've played video games and know that you're like, I can't bring myself to be the evil character. There's the guy in Virginia whose daughter was raped or sexually assaulted, and he was at a hearing. When a woman,
school board, no.
School board meeting.
Yeah.
And a woman said to him, you're lying, that never happened. And then the school board lied and said it never happened. And he lost it. He got angry.
Yeah.
The prosecutor tried to put him in jail. And he said, she is the most evil person I've ever met. We are dealing with these prosecutors. This woman in Virginia knows that a man's daughter was sexually assaulted in a school. She knows they're covering it up. And in her mind, she goes, I'm going to put you in prison, because they get this sick pleasure from just hurting people. It's unfathomable. I cannot understand it. But that characterizes a substantial amount of people in what we would call the culture war left, whereas the culture war right certainly does have these people too, but it's an inversion. There's much less of them. They're less tolerated. People don't like that stuff. On the left, you have the banality of evil. The people who march in lockstep, not asking questions about why you put someone in prison for 20 years. And then the evil person is empowered by the ignorant to torture individuals.
Well, you have to figure out what your God is. What's your God? And for some of them, this school board, woman on the board, or whoever's deciding that he goes to jail, she has a God. Her God is gender ideology. Her God is, ultimate sexual and gender freedom. And what do you do for gods? You sacrifice for them. Right. And so if that's your God, then there is no sacrifice that is beneath you, and you must do it to appease your God.
But I agree with you, but I still think we have to be careful in defining what God is, because they're godless.
No, what I'm saying is, what is a God? It's something worth sacrificing for, right? What is it? Well, the God is your ultimate aim, the thing that matters most to you in life. And a God will warp your reality. I think that's what we're seeing with the woke too, is like, if you lift that up, it will warp how you see the world. That is what idols do. It warps your world.
But I want to clarify the definition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. God to me is the literal definition of God, a higher powerful being beyond us and our capabilities, the creator of all things. They don't have that.
They have something that they serve.
But they don't. They do not have that concept in their minds of a higher power. It does not exist.
They're worshiping.
But it's not the same thing. There is a +1 and -1. These people are either blind and ignorant and will just be party to the collective unwittingly and useful idiots, or they believe they are simply but a wet robot and there is no truth but power, so they will wield it however they see fit.